Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another video right here on Freewheel Photos. Today we are going to be making a vibrant and punchy look inside of ON1 Photo RAW. This is a really simple technique that you can use, and I think that it really looks good on photos. So let's go ahead and jump into ON1 Photo RAW and take a look. All right, so here we are inside of ON1 Photo RAW, and we have a photo of a female in a grass, or at least in front of some flowers. And I want to make note that for this type of stylistic editing, you want to make sure that the photo has color to be brought out. If you're photographing a bunch of things that are like brown or gray, and there's really no like vibrant colors that can come, like that can actually shine in the image, then this look will just kind of be useless, if you ask me personally. So you can see in this photo, we have yellows in the background, got some yellow in her glasses. We have this red top that she's wearing, and then she has on blue pants or shorts, and then we also have the green in the background. Now we also have some complementary colors, so this image just works well overall, right? The greens and the reds are complementary, the blues and the reds are complementary to each other, and then we have the yellows that are very similar to greens. So this image is what, or that's why I chose this image, because it's going to, this technique is going to work well on this type of image. All right, so first step, and this really applies to those who are photographing in RAW. You want to change your camera profile to match the color response that you want to get. All right. And if you are shooting in RAW, then you'll be able to come to tone and color. I'll just expand that real quick. And then under camera profile, you can click the drop down here, and you can kind of cycle through these until you get a look that is more of your personal preference or style. Every image is going to require something different, so I can't tell you exactly which one you should use, but based off of your vision for this particular look, you'll choose the right camera profile. And again, that's subjective. I can't tell you which one is right or wrong, because it's all based off of what you want. But once you find that, which I actually like this one right here, Camera Vivid 2. This is a DCP file for the Nikon D610. Again, I should have mentioned this earlier. You can download this file in the description box below. This is a file from Signature Edits. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit enter or return to accept the camera profile of Vivid 2. Now, by default, that actually gives me that vibrant, contrasty look. And it's always good to get a camera profile that gets you like pretty much where you're trying to go. And then you just need to make fine tweaks to adjust it. So after you've chosen or selected your camera profile, the next step is to jump into the vibrance area. Now you'll notice I have reduce vibrance on skin checked. That's very appropriate and applicable if you are working with a photo that has a person in it. So I do recommend that you select that if you are working on a photo with a person. And what that does is, as you crank up the vibrance slider, the skin doesn't get like crazy, overly saturated or vibrant. All right, that's all that really does. If I turn this off, watch what happens to her skin. It just gets really, really orange, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn that back on. And I like to pull this up like crazy just to see like the maximum effect that could happen. And then dial this back. All right, your image is going to require something different, but the technique should still be the same. Crank it all the way up and then dial it back until you are satisfied with the colors that you're getting in your image. All right, so here's the before and here's the after. Now, a fun fact, if you really need to see like a before and after side by side as you're working, if you click down here at the bottom, there's this little before and after slider. I like to have this up from time to time so I can just slide before and after and just see what is going on with my image. And you could leave this up while you're editing, so that way if you're ever concerned like, hey, did I get the color adjusted the way that I wanted it to be? Well, you can just do a before and after check really easily without having to press a button. All right. Uh, so for now, we'll leave it up and then we'll jump into the next step. All right. So step one was camera profile. And then step two was adjusting the vibrance to taste. Step three is to really start to add some drama into the image. So I'm actually going to slide and I didn't mean to zoom in there. I'm going to slide our before and after just over to the right here because I want to look at a majority of the photo as I make this edit now. I'm going to click on tone, and that's going to expand our tone section here. And what I want to do is really contrast this image. Now, I don't need a whole lot of contrast in this image. If I look over here on my histogram, you can see I have information spread left to right. So this is a very dynamically dense image. So I don't need a whole lot. And the reason why I'm showing this to you is because in the event that your image was a little bit more flat, you're going to want to add more contrast because that's what is going to help with the punch. But on this particular image, the punch happened with that camera profile. And I'm grateful for that because it makes the job a little bit easier, but it's not always the case when you are editing an image. So the next step after you've worked your vibrance is to grab the contrast slider and just pull that over to the right until you start to get a nice deep contrast in your image. You could do it the technical way and hold down the J key and just look at the clipping indicators. If you start to get blue like that, you've gone too far. I guess that really only matters if you're printing, but typically you don't want to lose a whole lot of information across the image. I do want to keep some detail in her hair, which is over here in this braid. So I'll just say that that looks pretty good right there. Now, if I hold down the J key, you'll notice that in her glasses, I'm losing some information there. I could probably bring that back with the highlight slider here, and that helps. So as I'm pulling down the highlights, and this is one of those things that's going to be very subjective to your image. So what I'm doing here is really just trying to balance the overall tonality in the photo. But if yours doesn't require this, then don't worry about this particular step. So by pulling down on the highlights, it made the image a little bit more dull and flat. So I'm going to actually bring that back because I'm not worried about losing that information in the glasses there. So looking at this before and after, I'm really liking where it's going. You can see it's full of color. It's full of contrasty punch. We're getting there. All right. Now, if the contrast slider is not giving you the depth in the image as far as bright to dark separation, what you can also do is manually set those black and white points, and that's going to give you more contrast in your image. You can pull down on your blacks and then you can pull up on your whites, and that's also going to give you a more contrasty and punchy look. This is subjective again, but I like what it did here to the photo, so I'm not mad at that at all. All right. However, if I hold down the J key, you can see I'm starting to lose more information in the blacks. So you could recover that using a local adjustment later. But if we're only trying to work in the develop module, then you definitely want to be careful with how much of the blacks you clip. if you plan to print this, right? Just FYI. Uh, I usually wouldn't mess with the midtones or the shadows because if you pull up on the shadows, then it just makes the image look a little bit more flat and it's not punchy. We want that contrasty punch in the image. And then same idea with the midtones. It's just going to brighten up those middle grays. And I don't think we need that. And we also don't need to make them darker. But again, that's going to be subjective to your particular image. All you really need to do is come in here and modify the contrast slider and then correct your black and white points to get a little bit more punchy. All right. So the next step is to come into structure and you're going to increase your structure just a little bit here. And what that does is it helps put a little bit more sharpness and clarity across the entire image. It's very subtle, but it makes a difference in the overall photo. Now, you don't want to go like crazy overboard with it because if you have a photo with a model in it, you can start to see the individual pores popping out on the skin there. That's not a good idea. But if you just bring it up a little bit, it's okay if the pores show through just a bit, but you don't want them to like be very prominent in the shot. So there you go. That is the structure added. So let's go ahead and take a look at the complete before and after. So I'm actually just going to turn off this sliding view and we'll use the backslash key here. So here's before coming into Photo RAW. So here's before coming into ON1 with absolutely no adjustments applied. And here's the after with the vibrancy pushed up and the contrast also pushed up to give us that vibrant, contrasty look in the overall image. Now, to take this a step further, you can move into stylizing the photo. And that's where the effect section comes in. So I can hit add filter, and maybe for this particular image, I want to add in a sunshine filter. And that's way too strong. So let's just go ahead and pull that down. And I also don't think that it needs to be over the model. So this is where your stylistic choices will come in. I'm just going to use the masking tools here. So I hit the letter W to get the masking tool that I like to use, which is the AI Quick Brush. And once that loads in, I'm going to be able to select our model here. I'm just going to drag a rectangle out and over her. And then what I'll do is come up here to the top, click on erase, and then hit the blue check mark. And that's going to erase the sunshine effect from our model, but leave it on the background. And that gives me a whole separate opportunity to adjust the warmth in the image. So you can see as I pull this up, what's happening to that background. But let's go ahead and pull the amount slider back up. And maybe we'll glow the background. Nah, that doesn't look good. Doesn't look appropriate to that particular editing style that we're going for. So got the sunshine added. Maybe this will look good with a lens flare. So we'll come over here to textures, and I'm just having fun here. This is how I edit. I like to have fun. And I said a lens flare, and I grabbed the textures. Didn't mean to grab textures. What I needed to grab was a sun flare. And this looks pretty good. It's just a little too strong. So let's go ahead and pull that down just a bit there. And I think that that looks pretty good overall. So here's the before. And here is the after. Now, a majority of this style was actually created in the develop module. And then you can do a lot of special effects on the back end. So hopefully you found some value in today's content. If you did, smash the like button. If you want to pick up ON1 or maybe some presets or education over at the ON1 website, consider using my coupon code FreeWolfPhotos20. You save some money when you check out. I make a small commission at no extra charge to you. It's a win-win, great way of supporting the channel. Now, if you want to learn how to use On1 Photo RAW and have someone look over your shoulder and coach you step by step through a very specific workflow for you, consider signing up for a coaching call with me. A link for that is found in the description box below. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And if you found value in the video, smash the like. Until next time, I want you to stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.